Hello there and welcome to day 24 of Junk Journal July Embellishments. Today we are going to make a library of little books, and I've got two examples to show you of how I went about using these little books. So this was one of them. This is the centre of a journal, and you unwrap the thread and open up the library, and inside the library there are 3 books filled with pages ready to be filled in. And this is example number 2. So this was part of the Rocky Journal project, where I made a series of little books, and these are meant to be on shelves. So as you can see, that's labelled the A shelf, that's labelled the B shelf, and these are tiny little books as well. But I want to do something that's a little bit quicker than cutting out pages and stitching them in. So let's get to it. So I've been through my scrappy cardstock pack, and I've got this blue cardstock and I've got this blue paper. So I'm going to make the cover out of this piece. Now, I don't normally measure these because you can make them to whatever size you want, but just so as you get an idea, I am going to cut this to 4 inches. And then I'll need to just square it up. So and then I'm going to fold this in half. You could put this on your scoreboard and do it that way, but as we know, I'm a little bit limited for space in the work area that I'm in at the minute. And then we'll just burnish that down. So that should now be 2 inches wide. Height, let's see. So it measures approximately 2 inches wide by approximately 2 3/4 inches high, just to give you an idea. So I've cut this piece now so that it is both narrower and shorter than the actual cover, so I've got a little bit of a border going around. I'll cut another piece in a bit to go on the back, but I'm just going to ink up the edges of that, and then I can glue that in place. So I've got this piece of coffee dyed paper which I'm going to use as my pages. Normally we'd cut out a single page like that and then cut several of those out and stack them up. I'm actually going to accordion fold mine, so I just want to measure the depth that I want my pages to be so that it'll fit in my book nicely, and I'm going to cut off the whole length of that piece of paper there. So this piece of paper now fits the height of my book, but I now need to work out the width of it. So if I place it not quite up to the centre, and then I can see then where I need to fold it over to. Line the edges up. Just double check that I've got that right. Yep, that'll do me nicely, and I'm just going to keep folding it back and forth. Now this little overhang here, I'm actually going to keep it, so I'm just going to fold it back because I'll use that piece to attach it to the cover. Alright, so it'll open like that. So I'm just going to taper just that little single flap there. I'm just going to taper those off. And put glue onto that piece. And I'm going to glue it near to the centre, making sure that my page fits inside the cover. So that will now open up like that, and it will also open that way as well, so there's lots and lots of space to write in. Now I could do exactly the same on this side, and then that's my journal kind of made. So I would ink up all the edges of those to break them down into the individual sections. Next step, again, went through my scraps, found this really long thin piece, and I'm going to use this as my closure, so I can either have it going that way or that way. So I'm going to do this one this way, I think. So put the majority of it on the front, fold it over to the back, and then wrap it around, but wrap it around real loose. We don't want it as a really tight fit because you'll find it hard to get you slip your book in and out. Have them overlapping, but trim off the excess. Put a little bit of glue on that end, and a little bit of glue on that end. And close it up. Now you could put the decoration on this band that you've just made rather than actually maybe putting it on the book cover. Two ways of attaching it to your journal page is you can just put some glue on the back of this band here, stick the band into the book so that the book just slides in and out, but the band remains where it is. The other thing that you could do is you could put a magnet onto your page, put a magnet onto the back of the band here, so then you can lift the whole thing off and it'll be magnetised in place on your page, or pocket or belly band or whatever it is you want to attach your book to. And that's really the basics of making these little books, and there's been no stitching involved whatsoever. So I'm going to go off and go and make some more and decorate them up a little bit, so I'll be back shortly to show you the ones that I've made. So I've ended up just making 3. I don't need to do 5, so 3 will do me just fine. So this is the little blue one, and I've put a bottle on the front, so this could be maybe for an apothecary. And then it says, in the year 1900 there will be 3 eclipses, 2 of the sun, 1 of the moon. And then I've put a little library card on the inside. I've also folded back the first page a little bit, put a little bit of a tab on so that you can pull out the pages, and obviously you can write on the other side as well. And that's the back of it. So that's the little blue one. I've done a little purpley one, and it's got the band on it. It says Celtic Whispers. Open it up, there's a little pocket on the inside. I haven't put anything on the back, and then obviously that just pulls out both ways. And then I've done a slightly larger purple one, and I put an image on the front with the words Bonnie Lass. I've put a little pocket on the back, and then when you open it up, I've got fold out pages on both sides, and I put two lots of words on. So this one says Highlands and Thistle, this one says Brambles and Dark Moors, so that you've got two lots of papers that open out. Okay, thanks for joining me today. I hope that's inspired you, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye for now. Bye.